Hey YouTube, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka because Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of the video, this is my WWE Backlash review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all towards the end. If you are new here, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I'm doing on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of May. Follow all my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE SmackDown review and highlights I also did on the channel. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, WWE Backlash was a decent show and it had a decent card. Alright, WWE Backlash was live from Tampa, Florida, Benchmark International Arena. Commentary tonight with Michael Cole and Ray Barrett. Then, now, forever together, the WWE video leads us into the show. Pre-show arrivals: WWE United States Champion Trick Williams and Lil Yachty, Sami Zayn, Io Sky, Asuka, Danhausen, and Jake Fatu, and World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns are all showing preparing for their show earlier today. So we get a video package, a hype video for Backlash plays. We go live into the Benchmark International Arena to see a big protagonist display. So we get Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, accompanied by Paul Heyman, and in this match, I thought it was a good match for what it was, but Seth Rollins should have won, but it is what it is. But this was a good match and Braun Breaker got the win. Before the match begins, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker go face to face. The referee tries to keep them apart. The bell rings and Braun Breaker charge, but Seth Rollins leapfrogs him. Seth Rollins boots him in the face, knocking him out of the ring. Seth Rollins connects with a suicide dive and punches him punches him up the aisleway. Seth Rollins bounces him off the metal barricade and gets him back in the ring. Seth Rollins immediately clotheslines him over the top rope and hits another suicide dive, driving Braun Breaker into the commentary table. Seth Rollins punches away at Braun Breaker. The ringside arena near the commentary table is wider tonight. Braun Breaker quickly elbows Seth Rollins in the midsection and punches him back. Braun Breaker sends Seth Rollins over the barricade, but Seth Rollins quickly pops up and takes him down with a dive. Seth Rollins gets him in the ring and goes to the top rope for a dive, but Braun Breaker grabs him. Braun Breaker then gives him an overhead belly-to-belly suplex over the top rope to the floor. Braun Breaker takes a few moments to recover before going outside to punch Seth Rollins in the head, knocking him to the floor. The crowd chants, "Let's go, Seth Rollins." Braun Breaker bounces Seth Rollins off the apron. Seth Rollins fires back with some chops, but Braun Breaker explosively takes him down on the floor and punches away at the Visionary. Braun Breaker rolls Seth Rollins back into the ring and shoulders him into the midsection several times. Braun Breaker gets in the referee's face as he counts. Braun Breaker applies a front face lock, punches Seth Rollins in the ribs, and hits a vertical suplex for a 1 count. Seth Rollins fights back with some forearms to the face, but Braun Breaker easily ducks one and hits a German suplex. Braun Breaker shatters around a bit before hitting another German suplex. Braun Breaker checks his left ear, which may be cut or irritated. Braun Breaker applies a tight rear chin lock to Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins soon fights out. Seth Rollins gets to his feet and hits a jawbreaker. Seth Rollins chops Braun Breaker's chest several times. Braun Breaker reverses a whip and hits a tilted world backbreaker for a 2 count. Braun Breaker presses Seth Rollins into the mat, digs his knee into his lower back, and pulls on his hair. Braun Breaker says Seth Rollins was supposed to give him a chance, but he made it all about himself. Braun Breaker says Seth Rollins is a self-centered piece of trash. Braun Breaker applies another rear chin lock. Seth Rollins quickly fights up and hits a back suplex. Seth Rollins is getting fired up and challenges Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins punches Braun Breaker against the ropes before sending him into the ropes with a whip. Braun Breaker hits the ropes hard and hits a wild, lightning quick clothesline for a near fall. Replay showing the outrageous speed of Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker grabs a waist lock on Seth Rollins and hits a pair of release German suplexes. Braun Breaker ties Seth Rollins up as he slowly gets up before hitting a third release German suplex 1-2. Seth Rollins kicks out. Braun Breaker isn't sweating Seth Rollins as he smothers him and elbows him in the face. Braun Breaker puts Seth Rollins in the corner and lifts him onto the top rope. Braun Breaker climbs to the second rope, but Seth Rollins elbows him in the quarter and triceps before biting him. Braun Breaker is knocked back, but he scales the ropes for a Breakensteiner for a near fall. That was a scary fall for Braun Breaker. Paul Heyman shouts advice to Braun Breaker, knees Seth Rollins in the midsection and dumps him over the top rope. Braun Breaker shatters around the ring as the crowd boos. Braun Breaker slides out of the ring on the opposite side and starts to run. Braun Breaker leaps, but Seth Rollins super kicks him out of midair. The referee is counting them both out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seth Rollins is starting. 8. Braun Breaker moves. 9. Both men barely make it back into the ring. Seth Rollins hits a running forearm in the corner and hooks his head. Seth Rollins goes for a short arm clothesline, but Braun Breaker stays standing. Seth Rollins tries several times before forearming him in the head. A few times, Seth Rollins hits the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and runs Braun Breaker over with a lariat for a 2 count. Seth Rollins quickly backs up for a stump, but Braun Breaker lifts for a moment. Seth Rollins charges the direction with a running knee to the head to pick up a near fall. Paul Heyman puts his hands over his mouth, realizing how close Braun Breaker was to eating a stump. The crowd is into this match. Seth Rollins grabs both of Braun Breaker's hand and starts stomping his face. Seth Rollins backs up, blows Paul Heyman a kiss, and goes for a stomp. But Braun Breaker rolls over and grabs. Where was I? It says, Braun Breaker rolls over and grabs his foot. Braun Breaker grabs Seth Rollins by the throat and hits a military press into a gut buster. Braun Breaker backs up and charges for a spear, but Seth Rollins knees him in the face. Seth Rollins hits the ropes and attempts to flip through the clothesline, but they collapse to the mat. Seth Rollins lands on his head and grabs his neck. Braun Breaker saves the spot with a standing moonsault for a near fall. Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins go to the corner as they try to collect themselves from the botch. Braun Breaker starts doing the 10 punches, but Seth Rollins lifts him before running across the ring for a buckle bomb. Seth Rollins hits the ropes, but Braun Breaker intercepts him with a stiff clothesline. Both men are down. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Seth Rollins rolls out of the ring to recover, but Braun Breaker walks down to the ring steps. Seth Rollins is gasping for air, but Braun Breaker looks cool and collected. Braun Breaker bounces Seth Rollins off the commentary table and goes to the apron. Braun Breaker then hits a leaping clothesline over the commentary table. Paul Heyman intensely watches on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Braun Breaker grabs Seth Rollins. 5, 6, 7. Braun Breaker slings Seth Rollins into the ring and heads to the top rope. Braun Breaker goes to the top rope, but Seth Rollins scales the ropes for a superplex before rolling over. Braun Breaker counters and hits Seth Rollins with a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Paul Heyman pounds the mat in frustration. The crowd is singing Seth Rollins' theme song. Braun Breaker pushes Seth Rollins down a few times, thinking he has him where he wants him. Braun Breaker hits some shoulder thrusts in the corner before putting Seth Rollins on the top rope. Braun Breaker sets up for a superplex, but Seth Rollins fights back with some punches. Seth Rollins rakes Braun Breaker's back, knocking him down. Braun Breaker quickly hits his second Breakensteiner of the match. Braun Breaker puts him back on the top rope for a third Breakensteiner, but Seth Rollins sort of land on his feet. Seth Rollins fires up, and kicks Braun Breaker in the midsection before hitting him in the jaw. Braun Breaker grabs him by the throat, but Seth Rollins knocks his hand away and hits a pedigree. Seth Rollins falls up with a stomp. Paul Heyman jumps onto the apron and is doing whatever he can to challenge Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins smirks and rolls out of the ring before grabbing a chair from under the ring. Austin Theory and Logan Paul run out, but Seth Rollins attacks them with the chair. Seth Rollins hits Austin Theory with a stomp on the floor. Paul Heyman cowardly backs away from Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins chases him up the ramp, the entrance ramp. Seth Rollins runs back into the ring. Braun Breaker hits him with a spear as he gets in 1-2. Seth Rollins kicks out. Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman are in disbelief. Seth Rollins holds his ribs in pain. The crowd is always singing Seth Rollins' theme song again. Braun Breaker is irate and pulls his straps down. Braun Breaker hits the ropes at high speed, but Seth Rollins counters with a spear with a pedigree. Seth Rollins holds his ribs in pain as he climbs the second rope. Seth Rollins goes for an avalanche stomp, but Braun Breaker hits a spear out of midair. Braun Breaker hits the ropes hard and hits a vicious spear for the win. The winner by pinfall, Braun Breaker. This was a good match, what it was. Braun Breaker stands tall in the ring with Paul Heyman behind him. Michael Cole says this is the biggest win of Braun Breaker's career. Coming up next, the United States Champion will be on the line. ESPN app commercial break. Video package. John Cena promotes Club WWE. Grill position interviews. Kathy Kelly is backstage with WWE United States Champion Trick Williams and Lil Yachty. Trick Williams tells Sami Zayn to quit lying about feeling good. Sami Zayn talks about his experience, but Trick Williams is the puppet master. Trick Williams is running the game. Sami Zayn is going to see that. So we get the second match. So we get the United States Championship match. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams, accompanied by Lil Yachty. And I might as well say this match was pretty good. But I'm glad Trick Williams retained the United States Championship. This was a pretty good match. This is a rematch from WrestleMania 42, and Trick Williams defeated Sami Zayn at the event to win the WWE United States Championship. Lil Yachty has a candlestick with him. Trick Williams shoves Sami Zayn down before the match begins. Sami Zayn is furious. The bell rings and they lock up. Sami Zayn backs him into the corner, but Sami Zayn turns him around and pushes against his face. Sami Zayn chops away at Trick Williams before backing up. Sami Zayn ducks a lock up and applies a side headlock. Trick Williams whips him off. Sami Zayn does a clothesline, but Trick Williams catches him on the rebound with a leaping clothesline. Trick Williams chops Sami Zayn in the corner before hitting a backhand across his face. Trick Williams stomps away at Sami Zayn as the crowd chants, "Whoop that Trick." Trick Williams sends Sami Zayn into the ropes, but Sami Zayn holds on and pulls himself out of the ring to recover. Trick Williams gets out of the ring and hits a running attack on Sami Zayn from behind. Trick Williams grabs Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn reverses a whip into the steel ring steps. Sami Zayn picks the top half of the steps up, but Lil Yachty threatens him with the candlestick. Sami Zayn angrily backs him away. Trick Williams gets in the ring, so Sami Zayn follows him in and punches away at him. The crowd boos and Sami Zayn cannot understand why. Sami Zayn grabs Trick Williams and hits a forearm to the head. Sami Zayn sends Trick Williams into the ropes and hits a clothesline for a 2 count. Sami Zayn tries to cover a few more times, but gets the same results. The crowd has a dueling chant going on. Sami Zayn punches away at Trick Williams before shouting at Lil Yachty. Trick Williams quickly hits Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn hits a leaping neck breaker. Trick Williams punches away at Sami Zayn and sending him into the ropes for a spin kick. Trick Williams quickly connects with a scoop slam before grabbing the arm. Trick Williams tries to sling him up for a kick, but Sami Zayn fights back. Trick Williams quickly boots Sami Zayn in the face. Sami Zayn tries to fight back with a blue thunder bomb, but Trick Williams gets out and hits a bookend for a near fall. Trick Williams puts Sami Zayn on the top rope. Sami Zayn quickly starts to club away at him and hits a sunset flip powerbomb for a 2 count. The crowd chants that Sami Zayn sucks. Sami Zayn tries to get them on his side and charge for a haluva kick, but Trick Williams avoids it. Sami Zayn sidesteps a cyclone boot and hits a blue thunder bomb for their fall. Trick Williams reverses a whip, but Sami Zayn does a springboard leap fall. Sami Zayn quickly drops to the mat and grabs his knee in pain. Trick Williams doesn't care and grabs him. So Sami Zayn tries for a inside cradle to pick up a near fall. I'm sorry. Lil Yachty gets on their apron, so the referee keeps him back. Sami Zayn grabs Lil Yachty's kendo stick and smashes Trick Williams in the head with it. Sami Zayn covers 1-2. Trick Williams barely kicks out. Sami Zayn looks frustrated with the crowd and how he couldn't put Trick Williams away. Sami Zayn stomps away at Trick Williams' head before the referee backs him up. Sami Zayn keeps coming back for more stomps, upsetting the referee. Sami Zayn sides Trick Williams up before Lil Yachty hits him with the kendo stick. The referee has checking on Trick Williams and then see the weapon shot. Trick Williams hits a cyclone boot for a near fall. The crowd is loudly chanting for Trick Williams. Trick Williams holds his head in pain as Sami Zayn pulls him out of the ring. Sami Zayn quickly punches Lil Yachty down before beating him with the candlestick. Trick Williams quickly punches Sami Zayn onto the lower half of the steel steps and goes for a bookend, but Sami Zayn fights it. Sami Zayn hits a DDT on the steps and rolls Trick Williams back in the ring. Sami Zayn sees Lil Yachty getting up, and yeah. What was I? It says right here. What was I? It says right here. It says the crowd is loudly chanting for Trick Williams. Trick Williams holds his head in pain, but as Sami Zayn pulls him out of the ring. Sami Zayn quickly punches Lil Yachty down before beating him with the candlestick. Trick Williams quickly punches Sami Zayn onto the lower half of the steel steps and goes for a bookend, but Sami Zayn fights it. Sami Zayn hits a DDT on the steel steps, on the steps, and rolls Trick Williams back into the ring. Sami Zayn sees Lil Yachty getting up, so he hits the rap star with the haluva kick against the barricade. Sami Zayn gets in the ring and goes for a haluva kick, but Trick Williams sidesteps him. Trick Williams quickly hits the trick shot for the win. The winner by pinfall and still your WWE United States Champion, Trick Williams. This was a pretty good match. But if Sami Zayn was to be Trick Williams for United States Champion, I would have crashed out. But thank God it didn't happen. Lil Yachty throws stacks of dollar bills into the air as Trick Williams celebrates the win. Celebrates with the WWE United States Championship. Sami Zayn sits in frustration at ringside. Okay. We signed off from ESPN and will not be exclusively on ESPN app. A video package, a pretty amazing 1960 theme part of an action video plays, recapping everything that led to this feud with Danhausen, The Miz, and Kit Wilson. A box is brought into the arena. The crowd is excited to see Danhausen drive into the arena, and the Danhausen mobile. The box says, "Cloning machine." Danhausen has trouble opening the door, but he's finally successful. A miniature Danhausen exits the box. Danhausen isn't happy, but he shrugs and drives him down to the ring. So we get a tag team match. So we get Kit Wilson and The Miz versus Danhausen and Minihausen. And this tag team match right here, I might as well say, in my honest opinion, this tag team match, I might as well say, it was okay for what it was. There are some moves of Minniehouse. Kit Wilson quickly kicks Minniehouse down, then grates his hip. Minniehouse flips to his feet and rolls under a strikes and kicks away at Kit Wilson before hitting a springboard flying headbutt. Minniehouse hits a head scissor into a DDT. The Miz tags in, but Minniehouse sends him out of the ring with the head scissors take over. Kit Wilson runs in, but Minniehouse scales the ropes, walks on the top rope, and kicks Miz down and goes for a hurricanrana on the Miz. On Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson blocks it, but Minniehouse soon hits a hurricanrana out of the ring. Minniehouse stands on Danhausen's shoulders and dives onto Miz and Kit Wilson at the ringside area. Danhausen puts Kit Wilson in the ring and gets Minniehouse in there. Miz drives Danhausen into the ring post. Miz then punches Minniehouse down. Kit Wilson bounces Minniehouse in the corner before tagging the Miz in. Kit Wilson throws Minniehouse into the Miz. Military press Minniehouse over his head and hits a power slam. The Miz splashes and taunts the crowd. Kit Wilson tags in and Miz throws Minniehouse into him. They hit Minniehouse with a double team suplex before Miz backs away. Kit Wilson grates as he holds Minniehouse up before dropping him down for a 2 count. Kit Wilson covers Minniehouse again for a 2 count. Kit Wilson continues to take it to Minniehouse before he makes his mistake. Minniehouse then comes off the top rope with a moonsault. Danhausen and the Miz tag in. Danhausen hits an inverted atomic drop before taking Kit Wilson down. Danhausen hits Miz and Kit Wilson with a running clothesline in the corner before becoming exhausted. Danhausen then catches his breath and hits Miz with a running clothesline. Danhausen sends Kit Wilson into the Miz before hitting him with a German suplex. Danhausen catches Miz with a DDT before saying he is cursed. Kit Wilson intercepts a kick meant for the Miz. Miz rolls Danhausen up for a 2 count. Danhausen avoids Miz pretended corner clothesline. Minniehouse blind tags in and takes Miz down before sending Kit Wilson out of the ring with their hurricanrana. Minniehouse hits them with a scary suicide dive. Kit Wilson quickly retreats up the entrance ramp as Minniehouse chases him. Kit Wilson kicks him down and throws him into the cloning machine. The machine turns on and a bunch of Minniehouses emerges. They beat Kit Wilson down to the ring. The original Minniehausen lifts Kit Wilson and does an airplane spin before hitting a wasteland, something like that. Wade Barrett's finisher. Minniehouse tries to curse Kit Wilson, but Kit Wilson used his mirror to bounce the curse back at Minniehouse. The Miz hits Minniehouse with a skull crusher finale 1-2. Danhausen breaks it up. Danhausen tags in and he soon hits Miz with the Luther's press. Danhausen clotheslines Miz and Kit Wilson over the top rope. Danhausen high-fives some Minniehouse standing on the commentary table. Miz grabs a fire extinguisher and says Danhausen is cursed. The fire extinguisher doesn't work and Miz winds up spraying himself and Kit Wilson. Minniehouse comes off the top rope with a dive onto Kit Wilson at ringside. Danhausen finishes Miz off with a pump kick for the win. The winner by pinfall, Danhausen and Minniehouse. This was a okay tag team match for what it was. I'm not saying it was terrible. It was just okay for what it was. Danhausen and the Minniehouse dance on the stage before the lights go out. They botch their disappearing as the lights come back on, and they still scramble. Danhausen and Minniehouse get the win versus Miz and Kit Wilson. Hashtag WWE Backlash. This is an example of people convincing themselves that something big is going to happen just because it's a mystery partner. You really think they're bringing some important back to them? with Danhausen to take on Miz and Kit Wilson. Come on, shades of the Danhausen. This was a goofy match, but it was perfect for Danhausen's character. People just need to lower their expectations of how they promote him. They weren't bringing Stone Cold Steve Austin back to team with him. Alright, let's move on. A AAA Triple Mania 34 is coming on September 11th and September 13th from two different locations. September 13th will be in Mexico City. September 11th is TBA. The main event is still to come. ESPN commercial break. So we get the next match. So we get Io Sky versus Asuka. This was the match of the night right here. Io Sky and Asuka tore the house down, but this was the match of the night right here. And this match comes in first place. There are we want Kairi Sane chance as the match begins. They lock up and Asuka quickly slings her down. They stay locked up, and Io Sky backs up the ropes to try to sling Asuka down. They still lock up before backing against the ropes. Io Sky gives a clean break, so Asuka shoves her. Asuka backs her against the ropes and backs up. Asuka applies a side headlock and a ladder. We want Kairi Sane chant fires up. Io Sky applies a side headlock, but Asuka whips her off. Asuka absorbs a shoulder tackle, and they start shoving each other. Io Sky hits the ropes, does some handsprings and sweeps her feet. Io Sky then hits a basement drop kick before getting the crowd going. Io Sky stomps away at Asuka, but Asuka fights back. Io Sky flips to her feet, and as Asuka tries to throw her down, Asuka hits a drop toe hold into the corner before hitting a slingshot double knee to the chest for a 2 count. Asuka rolls to the apron to recover. Io Sky grabs Asuka, but Asuka fights back. Io Sky blocks a shot into a top turnbuckle and knocks her to the floor. Io Sky sets up for a moonsault, but Io Sky trips her. Io Sky holds the ropes to keep herself from falling to the floor. So Asuka slings her head off the ring post. Asuka grabs Io Sky at ringside and bounces her off the barricade. A "Let's go Io Sky" chant picks up. Asuka pulls Io Sky over the apron and kicks her in the face several times. Asuka gets in the ring and gets in the referee's face. Asuka then stretches her near the ropes. Asuka continues to stretch Io Sky before kicking away at her head. Io Sky absorbs some of the blows and fights back at Asuka. Io Sky hits the ropes, but Asuka hits a vicious kick to take her down for a near fall. Asuka wrenches her arm, but Io Sky fights back and punches her. Asuka pulls her down by the hair and stands over her, throwing some wild punches. Asuka starts to taunt Io Sky and hits some stiff kicks to the chest. Io Sky blocks one, hits a forearm, rolls her up, and hits a double stomp to the midsection. Io Sky collapses from all the strikes. Both women are down. Io Sky gets up and hits some strikes in an uppercut. Asuka sends her to the corner, but Io Sky twists the apron. Io Sky snaps Asuka off the top end and head to the top rope for a missile drop kick. Io Sky flips to her feet and gets the crowd fired up. Io Sky backs to the corner and hits a bullet train attack for a near fall. Io Sky goes for a double underhook backbreaker, but Asuka gets out and hits a strike combo followed by a running knee for a near fall. Asuka stands up and goes for a kick, but Io Sky ducks it and rolls her up for a 2 count. Asuka ducks a kick, but Io Sky catches her on the rebound for a near fall. Io Sky goes for a German suplex, but Asuka grabs the ropes. Io Sky pulls her away and hits a bridging German suplex for a near fall. Asuka quickly transitions into the Kimura before going for a Fujiwara armbar. Io Sky gets out, but Asuka hits a knee to the face. Io Sky ducks a strike and hits a spin kick before collapsing. Both women are down again. They slowly get up, and Asuka catches Io Sky, charging with the Asuka lock attempt. Io Sky fights it and elbows her in the jaw. Io Sky hits a modified stunner, but Asuka quickly takes her down with the armbar. Io Sky fights out and goes for an Asuka lock. Asuka gets a foot on the bottom rope. Asuka gasps for air onto the apron. Io Sky climbs the ropes and grabs her, but Io Sky slings Io Sky head into the ring post. Asuka goes to the top rope, but Io Sky cuts her off. Io Sky hits a super hurricanrana, but Asuka counters into a roll-up for a near fall. Asuka goes for the Empress impact against the ropes, but Io Sky sidesteps her and kicks her out of the ring. Io Sky gets fired up and tries for a suicide dive, but Asuka forearms her in the face. Asuka puts Io Sky on the commentary table and climbs up. Asuka goes for a suplex, but Io Sky fights it. Asuka quickly cuts her off and goes for a blue miss, but Io Sky blocks it with a Wade Barrett's notebook. That was smart by Io Sky. I'm proud of Io Sky for using Wade Barrett's to block the blue miss. That was smart by Io Sky. Anyway, let me continue. Asuka is shocked. Io Sky blocks a kick and hits a dragon screw on the table. Io Sky then hits a diving crossbody block from the table to the floor. Io Sky goes for the apron and sets up, but Asuka is out of position. Io Sky motions for Asuka to move over, which she does. Io Sky then hits the moonsault. Io Sky gets Asuka into the ring and goes to the top rope. Io Sky goes for it over the moonsault, but Asuka avoids it and applies a triangle choke. Io Sky tries to push her onto her shoulders, but Asuka kicks out. Asuka applies an Asuka lock on Io Sky. It's fading. Io Sky then gets a burst of energy to roll Asuka onto her shoulders for a 2 count. The crowd chants "This is awesome" as they exchange stiff shots. Asuka blocks a kick and hits a release German suplex. Io Sky ducks a kick and hits a release German suplex. Io Sky hits a second bullet train attack before heading to the top rope. Io Sky hits over the moonsault 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match by pinfall, Io Sky. This was the match of the night between Io Sky and Asuka. Io Sky looks emotional and bows before Asuka in tears. Asuka is crying in embrace. Asuka hugs and kisses her on the head. Asuka then raised Io Sky's arm in victory. Asuka then waves the crowd before walking off. Io Sky is left to celebrate. So Asuka, I think Asuka is gonna be a baby face. So that's all I gotta say. But we all miss Kairi Sane, and that's all I gotta say. We want Kairi Sane back, and that's all I gotta say. Hashtag in the comment section, we want Kairi Sane back in the comment section. Members of the Tampa Bay Lightning are at ringside. Skinner, Steve Curran is also there, as is Wallen, Mercy, Dan, Spivey. Shane Mosley Jr. versus Shorty Bachachuk fights on Zuffa Boston tomorrow night. John Cena's big announcement. This was a good segment by John Cena. The legendary John Cena makes his way to the ring. The crowd gives John Cena a tremendous ovation. One of the greatest things about being on this side now is leaning into the moments that allowed to have. It's nice knowing that no one is coming down to kick his teeth in. John Cena thanks the crowd. It's moments like these that have him thinking about the next phase of his WWE career after his last match. A one more match chant picks up, which John Cena is expecting. John Cena says that makes him feel good. John Cena thought a lot about that last match. People were upset. John Cena was truly happy. What was most important thing that night is they made it something bigger. It was an even of opportunity. His opponent had to win their way in. John Cena kindly asked WWE superstars to give NXT superstars an opportunity to show the world what they got. On that night, we saw Saruka, G1 Evans, and Obafemi for the first time. A loud Obafemi chant fires up. John Cena hopes Obafemi is listening. Obafemi debuts in December. 4 months later, he's strutting and kicked Brock Lesnar's you-know-what at WrestleMania. And Obafemi was the next big thing at WrestleMania. So after Obafemi defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42, Obafemi was the next big thing, and Obafemi retired Brock Lesnar. And that's all I gotta say. Alright. Then they hit him. They have to do this again. So they are. John Cena is honored to announce the John Cena Classic. It'll be an entire evening of the best of today competed against the best of tomorrow. It'll be an event where WWE and NXT superstars have the opportunity to give all they have in the hopes of being crowned a champion. It'll be debuting of a brand new champion in the WWE. It's not just any championship. It is an event and champions he's personally putting his name on. John Cena will strive for a certain level of excellence and do everything he can to make it special. John Cena has said time and again that the biggest superstar in WWE is the WWE Universe, on top of a new event and championships. For the first time in history, their voices will be heard louder than ever before. The audience will vote. So the audience will vote to crown the champion of John Cena's Classic. Every participant qualifies, which means a superstar might not win their match, but their hustle might earn them respect and votes. You can still crown them the John Cena Classic champion. It'll embody everything he stands for and values. It's important to him. John Cena promised to give everything he has to make, and this an experience that goes beyond 1 year. John Cena says the sky is the limit on this one. John Cena thanks Obafemi for helping make this a reality. John Cena thanks to WWE for taking a chance on this crazy idea, as well as those watching at home in the city of Tampa Bay. There are a lot of folks in this crowd who knows this city means a lot to him. You can add this one to the list. John Cena thanks them for their attention, time, and investments, and then enthusiasm, energy, and noise. John Cena says it loud, like they're ready. He sees them at the John Cena Classic, and now it's time for your main event. All right, that was a good segment. By John Cena. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett have a can of mug root beer, and the mug root beer mascot behind them. Did you see the way that Michael Cole was drinking that? Did you see that the way that Wade Barrett and Michael Cole was drinking that root beer? They were like, that was, it is what it is. But but that was a good segment by John Cena, man. The way that Michael Cole and Wade Barrett was chugging down that root beer, that part was funny, man. But it is what it is. But let's move on. Video package, World Heavyweight Championship match. So we get the main event of the evening. Man, boy, I was ready for this main event match right here. I was so freaking ready for this match, and I cannot wait to be locked in. And that's all I gotta say. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get the World Heavyweight Championship match. The Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu versus the OTC Roman Reigns. Now this match was brutal, and this main event match was good and brutal at the same time. The bell rings to start this match. Jacob Fatu looks across the ring at his cousins before looking over at the World Heavyweight Champion. The crowd is buzzing for this match. A loud OTC chant picks up. They circle the ring before they lock up. Roman Reigns hooks a side headlock, but Jacob Fatu backs him against the ropes and whips him off. Roman Reigns quickly runs him over with a shoulder tackle and puts a finger in the air, but Jacob Fatu immediately pops up behind him. Jacob Fatu shears at Roman Reigns. The crowd sings Roman Reigns' name and they lock up again, but Jacob Fatu hooks a side headlock. Roman Reigns drops to a knee as Jacob Fatu cinches it in. Roman Reigns whips him off, but Jacob Fatu shoulder tackles the champion down. Jacob Fatu hits the ropes and goes over Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns leapfrogs him and goes for a clothesline, but Jacob Fatu stays standing. Jacob Fatu lariats Roman Reigns down before hitting a clothesline over the top rope. Jacob Fatu goes for a suicide dive, but he grabs Roman Reigns and transitions him into a Togen death grip. Jacob Fatu slams him into the ring post and throws him back into the ring. Roman Reigns rolls out of the ring to recover. Jacob Fatu grabs him, but Roman Reigns snaps him off the top rope. Roman Reigns bends the hand over the ropes and starts trying to stretch it to prevent the Tongan death grip. Roman Reigns slams Jacob Fatu's hand into the ring post before slinging him down onto the floor. There are dueling chants for both men. Roman Reigns gets Jacob Fatu in the ring as he continues to work on Jacob Fatu's hand. Roman Reigns bounces Jacob Fatu face off the top turnbuckle, but Jacob Fatu fights back with some headbutts. Roman Reigns fights back with some strikes before getting him in the corner for 10 punches. Jacob Fatu punches him off, so Roman Reigns clubs him several times in the corner. Jacob Fatu blocks it by grabbing the arm, hitting a short arm clothesline. Jacob Fatu stands over Roman Reigns and looks at his hand. Jacob Fatu's fingers are taped up for the Togen death grip. Jacob Fatu continues to punch away at Roman Reigns. The commentators talk about how we haven't seen Drew McIntyre since he lost to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Jacob Fatu drives Roman Reigns into the ring post and poses in the ring. Roman Reigns gets up and hits some clotheslines. Jacob Fatu reverses a whip and hits a diving clothesline. Roman Reigns attacks him in the corner before hitting a big boot. Roman Reigns points to the sky. Roman Reigns gets locked and loaded before connecting with the Superman punch. Superman punch 1. Jacob Fatu kicks out and immediately gets to his feet. Gary and Roman Reigns looks absolutely stunned, and the crowd loudly chants Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu punches back at Roman Reigns before sending him into the ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. Jacob Fatu gets more fired up. Takes Roman Reigns down and hits a senton splash Jacob Fatu avalanches Roman Reigns in the corner before climbing for a 10 headbutts. Jacob Fatu backs up and hits a running hip attack. Jacob Fatu continues to gyrate wildly and goes for another hip attack, but Roman Reigns cuts him off with a Superman punch for a near fall. Jacob Fatu rolls out of the ring, so Roman Reigns catches him with a drive-by drop kick. Jacob Fatu falls back and hits his head on the steel steps. Roman Reigns clears the commentary table and grabs Jacob Fatu, but Jacob Fatu applies a Togen Death Grip. Jacob Fatu then takes his stunned cousin and hits a powerbomb through the commentary table. Jacob Fatu gets Roman Reigns in the ring, cross him and charge, but Roman Reigns intercepts him with a spear 1-2. Jacob Fatu kicks out. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Both men are recovering, and OTC chant picks up as Roman Reigns gets to his knee and pulls himself up to his feet. Roman Reigns gets fired up and signs Jacob Fatu up. Roman Reigns roars and charges for a spear, but Jacob Fatu counters with a pop-up Samoan drop. Jacob Fatu immediately hits a mighty moonsault 1-2. Roman Reigns kicks out. Jacob Fatu is furious and hits some falling headbutts. Jacob Fatu punches away at Roman Reigns and pose. Roman Reigns is barely moving. Jacob Fatu heads to the top rope for a swanton bomb, but Roman Reigns gets the knees up. Roman Reigns holds his knee in pain for the impact. Another OTC chant picks up. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu stared at each other before exchanging punches from their knees. They get to their feet and rocks each other with punches before Jacob Fatu knocks him back into the corner. Jacob Fatu hits a pair of wild running hip attacks. Jacob Fatu signals for the Togen Death Grip as Roman Reigns struggles to get up. Jacob Fatu applies the Togen Death Grip. Roman Reigns struggles, but he quickly begins to fade. Roman Reigns looks unconscious as the referee checks his arm. One arm drop. Roman Reigns keep it up for the second. Roman Reigns puts his thumb in Jacob Fatu's eyes before backing him into the corner, squashing the referee in there as well. Roman Reigns hits a pair of Superman punches before hitting the ropes. Jacob Fatu super kicks him and goes for a pop-up Samoan drop, but Roman Reigns counters with a Superman punch. Roman Reigns hits the ropes and hits a spear. 1-2. Jacob Fatu kicks out. Wow. After a few moments, Jacob Fatu puts the Togen Death Grip back on. Roman Reigns grabs the referee, but Jacob Fatu pulls him away. Roman Reigns pulls at the top turnbuckle to get away, but Jacob Fatu pulls him away. The turnbuckle pad comes off with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns managed to get out and bounces Jacob Fatu's head off the exposed turnbuckle. Roman Reigns immediately follows up with a spear. 1, 2, 3. The winner by pinfall and still your World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. This main event match was fantastic, and it was brutal and physical at the same time. Like I said, alright, Jacob Fatu is on his feet pretty quickly. Jacob Fatu grabs the referee's shirt before going over to Roman Reigns, who hasn't moved, and applies a Togen Death Grip. The referee tries to pull him away, but Jacob Fatu knocks him back. Jacob Fatu applies another Togen Death Grip to Roman Reigns. The referee grabs Jacob Fatu, so Jacob Fatu hits him with a pop-up Samoan drop. The WWE officials run and producers run down. Jacob Fatu punches Shane Helms down and tosses another one out of the ring before putting the Togen Death Grip back on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is foaming at the mouth. Jacob Fatu finally release looks into the camera and says, "I told him." Jacob Fatu walks off as Raw General Manager Adam Pearce looks at Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu knocks Jamie Noble over and returns to the ring to put the Togen Death Grip back on Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu release. Pick up the World Heavyweight Champion and stands over Roman Reigns as the show comes to an end. Alright. Let me read you guys the quick match results. Braun Breaker defeated Seth Rollins. Trick Williams defeated Sami Zayn to retain the WWE United States Champion. Dan Housen and Minnie Housen defeated Kid Williams and The Miz in a tag team match, which is okay for what it was. Io Sky defeated Asuka, which was the match of the night. And Roman Reigns defeated the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu to retain the World Heavyweight Championship, which is also the second matchup, which is also the second best match of the night. And WWE Backlash goes off the air. Alright, let me get my honest opinion what I think about WWE Backlash. Now, WWE Backlash was a decent show, and it had a decent card. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE Backlash review and highlights, make sure you guys please full watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. If you are new here, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for my wrestling content that I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of April. Make sure you guys follow all my social media down below in the description. And I'll see you guys tonight for my upcoming world premiere for my WWE Backlash review and highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. And also, I will go live on Twitch tomorrow for some Fortnite. So I'll see you guys live on Twitch tomorrow for some Fortnite. So that's all I got. That's all I got to say from here. I want you guys to have a great weekend. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.